Hello everybody and welcome back to Karhuvaara. Karhuvaara? Oh boy, did you think I was going to make a video on this map again? Well, I did not, but here we are. Um, so, I don't even know how long it has been. It has been probably way over half a year, I think. Maybe closer to a year, I don't know, but way back when, I did start a series on this map, and to be honest, I don't even know how many episodes I got in. I think it was 2 or 3. And yeah, it was basically the second try to do an English series, and the first one was on what's it called, Silver Run, and I tried to do a American themed series on that. Because well, Silverrun is an American map, and generally I try to play as realistic as possible, which includes playing vehicles and general gameplay or style of farming that fits the map I am playing on. So, anyways, that did not work out too well because, well, the main reason or main issue was actually mods. Um, I spent more time fixing mods and looking for searching for basically what broke or what is wrong in a mod because well, the mods are just broken, and I am probably not going to make a lot of friends here if I say that. But yeah, I mean the mods were all from ModHub on that save game, and well, they are just not on the same quality level as maybe other mods. And I don't know why that is, or maybe I do. Obviously, the American modding community is fairly new compared to some others, so I guess there's a lot of people who don't have too much experience. Um, I don't know, but anyways, I never had as much issues on a save game with mods as I did on that save game. So that was ultimately what ended it. I know there was never an official end, but I think I recorded, I don't know, 6 episodes on that. And I was just getting frustrated with having to re-record stuff because vehicles kept flying away and weird stuff happening. So yeah, that was the end of that series, and then I started this one right here. And basically, it was the same idea. Um, Going to a start from scratch approach, but not like No Man's Land and start cutting down timbers, but from a realistic approach, having bought a property, in this case an old farmstead here in Finland, and yeah, having also brought some equipment like this nice tractor, Bolinde Munktel tractor that I restored, and um, a lot of equipment that I bought for it because I wanted to basically play a little bit with. I mean, it's not a real farming operation; it's just a bit of a hobby, right? But yeah, basically, I restored and got a lot of equipment, and finally, here I have the ability to put it to use, and that is basically where we are or where we were, story-wise. And yeah, I think the next thing I need to do is get this little machine out. Um, but as I said, it has been a very long time. So by now, I completely forgot all the plot. I forgot where we were. I forgot basically the story. So I'm going to be honest here. I assume most of you have also forgotten. So we're just going to kind of discover together what this safe game has to offer and what the idea was. Um, So that's why we're also walking around a bit. So over there's a field I still wanted to cut with a mower, but I think I'm going to not do that. I think I'm uh, having plenty of work just finishing those 2 fields. And yeah, this is my house here, and I have 2 pickups. And one thing of the story I do remember is that I am basically a mobile mechanic for trucks and logging equipment and stuff like that. And well, that is how I earn my income and what affords me to or what allows me to afford to play with these old tractors right here. So yeah, that is kind of where we are, or kind of where we're going to. Um, apart from this little machine, I also have this old Volvo loader right here that is also restored and fixed up, and it's a very nice machine. And I plan to do some logging work myself right here on this property, so that is why I have this thing. I also have this nice lawn tractor right here, and you saw in the garage right here there is also a small lawnmower, because obviously this is a big property and a lot of maintenance needs to take place. So generally, for all of those that forgot what I was doing or that are new here, I'm doing kind of realistic gameplay, trying my best to do realistic gameplay, mostly focusing on vehicle realism, driving realistic, having realistic combinations of implements and stuff like that, and yeah, not doing the hardcore realism stuff. And I see I really need to change my outfit for this series. Yeah, that's not great. Well, we're not going to do that right now. So yeah, I'm not traveling. I'm not playing an indoor camera all the time. Just sometimes. I also see that on this old save game, I still have enhanced vehicle and not vehicle control add-on. So yeah, I need to update that. And yeah, sitting back on this tractor, it's such a beautiful tractor. Giants did such a good job with this thing. Um, I wish there were more classics in Farm Sim made by Giants, because it's just on another level, not even remotely comparable to all the mods out there. If we are being honest, the quality of Giants models just um, have increased so drastically that is not something modders can really reach without spending a lot of time and a lot of work. And I think I'm probably getting hate for this also, but I think most modders just aren't um, willing to spend the time. They're lazy. I mean, I'm lazy too, so yeah, but I'm not really modding anymore. I'm not sure where I was going with it, but the thing is, it's not like this kind of quality of a model can't be achieved by a modder. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just a ton of work, and yeah, looking at the average mod released out there right now, it feels to me that for a lot of people, it's actually kind of a, yeah, good enough. That's good enough approach on modding, which I feel a bit sad about, but well, you can't change that. So, long story short, not a story at all. I don't want to talk about that. I tend to talk about that from time to time, and yeah, here's definitely something wrong. So apparently I don't have manual attach on the save game active. That is weird. Yeah, we are kind of discovering those things together now. What I was trying to say earlier is, yeah, in terms of realistic gameplay, I'm not a hardcore mode player with like zero money and only indoor cam, no tabbing. I'm playing realistic in terms of vehicles, driving speeds, equipment. Oh yeah, right, no matter attached. Equipment fitting together. Trying to play farms that actually could be in that area. Trying to basically have vehicles that match the area and stuff like that. So I wouldn't. Oh, great! I don't have. Yeah, because I don't have vehicle control add-on in here. Obviously, all my inputs for lowering and raising and all of that kind of stuff don't work. So yeah, we're just going to have to make do for now. I'm going to switch that out later on. Probably, maybe, maybe not. If I'm being honest, I have no idea if this series has a future. But, and I'm really sorry for being all over the place, basically. I have no idea what I want or should talk about. Um, I have no idea where this is going. So yeah, it's going to be all over the place. And yeah, I'm sorry about that, but that's just the way it's going to be for now. Yeah, I'm going to turn on this machine and we're going to do some tedding. And well, I don't think I have, no, I don't have any Mace Plus in here or anything. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. A little bit of RPM. Looks like we're making straight hay. That's fine. Again, seems like I have to do a lot of changing and fixing for the save game if I want to keep playing it. Yeah, again, sorry I'm really all over the place with the topics. Thing is, I always thought I want to keep doing an English series. Just because it's fun, honestly. So, yeah, here we are. Funny thing is, I did a live stream the other day and somebody in chat asked where the series is, and I didn't really think anybody would have remembered the series, and yeah, I from time to time thought about the series and thought, yeah, I would like to go back to it, but I didn't have any concrete plans or anything. But since I was asked in a live stream the other day, I just thought I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to record an episode, I'm going to put it out there, I'm going to see what happens. So, to finish the talk about realism, generally in my episodes I do have time lapses, so that I get more work done in one video. It's not just 20 minutes of me talking non-stop. But I think in this episode today we most likely won't have a time lapse, because we're just trying to find back into this series, trying to find back into English, and I think we're just going to record a short episode, talking a little bit and see where this leads to. So, that out of the way, back to English. Why and how? I think, and I've talked about this previously, but it has been a long time, I think that it is a good practice for me to record in English, because I would consider myself fluent in understanding English. I do watch a lot of English YouTube, I do watch a lot of English television, and basically I would say that in about 99% of all cases I don't have any issues understanding anything. I do watch comedy shows, I understand the jokes, so I think a general saying is that if you understand jokes in a language, you're considered fluent. And there's like tests and stuff you can do, and they do kind of like do wordplay and stuff like that and see if you can understand it, and if you understand it, it's considered fluent. So I don't want to get into all the technicalities of it because I don't know. I never really studied English or had a proper education on it, other than basically English lessons back in school. So it's all self-taught through watching videos and stuff like that, and basically being exposed to the language through YouTube is basically what it comes down to. And yeah, I think I'm severely lacking in the talking department. Again, I would consider myself fluent in understanding, but obviously not in talking. I think I'm doing okay, which surprises me actually, because I did not really talk English in a long time. I recently started streaming with Alien Paul and Disturbed in English again, so I had talked a few words in English, but generally in those streams I'm kind of in the background. I'm not talking much, so yeah, I'm not really sure if that really helped anything. So I don't actually know where this comes from, but I don't feel too horrible right now. I don't have to. Well, I'm using a lot and thinking about stuff. And obviously my accent is probably pretty horrible, but in general I feel pretty comfortable looking for words and saying the things I want to say, and feel like they come out the way I want to say them. So I think I should be happy about that. Because if I'm being honest, I had no idea where I was in that regard. So again, I don't have much experience speaking English. I did a few short videos explaining stuff in English, like many years ago, regarding farm sim, regarding modding. I think I did a short video on my easy fence script back in, I don't know, FS15 or something like that, or FS17. So yeah, from time to time I did dabble in speaking English, but yeah, other than very few team farming agents team meetings in English, and very few streams in English with Alien Paul and Disturbed, or not very few streams, but very few talking of me in those streams. So I've been in quite a few streams, but I generally I'm not a person to talk a lot, which seems odd because I record videos and I talk a lot right now. But if I'm in a group or if I'm with other people, I'm usually quiet. And actually, if I'm alone, I'm also quiet. Obviously, I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to a microphone right now, but the only reason why I'm talking is because nobody interrupts me and nobody is saying anything. So I just keep talking. And that's kind of a thing I learned when I started making videos. In the beginning I had a very hard time. That is actually why, or one of the reasons why I did the time lapses, because basically I would say a few words and then I would have lost my train of thought and wouldn't know what to keep saying or what to say next, and I would just cut to a time lapse until I figured out what I want to talk about next. And that is kind of how my first videos were made. But I pretty soon realized that if I let my guard down, so to speak, don't really thinking about what to say, I can keep talking for a long time. Yeah, it's actually kind of a skill I discovered through YouTube. I did not know I had, or maybe a very old skill. I know that when I was a child, like really small child, actually was talking a lot. So yeah, probably had that in me for quite a while and forgot. But back to the topic at hand. I just want to do the English series as practice for myself, to keep talking English, but also to do something new. I've been doing those videos, Let's Plays on YouTube, I don't know for how many years now. Probably going on to 6 years maybe now. I don't know. It's been a long time anyways, and I know it can't be 6 years. I started doing them after I got my PC, and I think my PC is 6 years old now. So yeah, something like that. 5 to 6 years. And I feel like I kind of covered every topic I can cover. I kind of talked about everything I can talk about. And I feel like I kind of exhausted the talkability. I'm still doing stories, like story roleplay, let's plays, time lapses, playing farm sim, but like episodes where I just constantly talk. I have a hard time doing those because I feel like almost any subject or topic I could touch on, I already did touch on at some point, and I don't want to do it twice. Other than maybe some subjects that are very dear to my heart. I could talk about farm sim and modding and why paid mods are the worst thing ever and stuff like that. I can talk about that forever. And I'm pretty sure even in the series I've talked about that before. So if you go back, watch any of the old Karhuvaara videos, any of the 2 or 3 that are out there, I'm pretty sure I talked about Patreon and paid mods on that before. But yeah, other than that, I think one major appeal of doing an English series is to appeal to a new audience and to have the feeling to be able to talk about stuff again that I've been talking about in the past, but in a different way. But also to talk about other things. I mean, let's talk about British television shows, for example. Not today, because the video is already long enough, and it would be an hour if I would start, but I think that is a topic I can only talk about in an English stream, because I did do that. Stream, not stream. We are in a video. Yeah. Funny thing, right? Because I keep talking so much, I think I'm in a live stream. Anyways, I did start or try to talk about British television series in my German videos, but the thing is, nobody else watches them. That's just the truth. I feel like I'm pretty alone out there. I do know that, I mean, I do watch a lot of general like television series and stuff in original language, if the original language is English. For everybody out there that does not know, because you're not from Germany, we have excellent dubbing in Germany. So in Germany everything is dubbed. Nothing has subtitles. We have a huge dubbing industry, and it's really great. I've seen some dubbing in some other countries, and actually there is like in Poland, for example, I've seen movies that were dubbed. I mean, probably wasn't like a really blockbuster movie, but not horrible like small budget film, but basically it was dubbed by one voice actor who did all the voices, and yeah, stuff like that we don't have here. I mean, even real niche and weird movies are dubbed, and excellent dubbed with real voice actors for all the characters, and fitting voice actors with this like voice and tone and timbre, whatever you call it, and basically mimic the original. Obviously, it's not always an exact match that you would say, oh yeah, I recognize that voice if you would hear it in English. The voices are different, but it's done in a way where you could imagine that voice being the voice of the actor. So yeah, for that reason, in Germany, people tend to not watch English videos or series or movies. Well, because it's a thing of laziness, right? Most people aren't very fluent in English, and it takes obviously a lot of mental capacity or mental what's I'm looking for a word of being there, being aware. Concentrating. It takes some effort to try and understand something then, and if you have an excellent German dubbed version, why wouldn't you watch that, and it all instantly makes sense in your head. You don't have to think about it. So yeah, for that reason, this is not something German people do, and it also means that like a British television shows or stuff like that isn't really something that people in Germany know or watch. And so if I try to talk about Taskmaster, for example, yeah, nobody knows that here, and it's kind of sad, but it's also, I mean, it's just what it is. But I think that is, for example, something I can talk about in those videos here. Even though I do know that despite everything I just said, and despite a lot of Germans, even younger Germans, being really lazy about English, even though Germans in general do have a good understanding of the language, I think that is actually something that if you watch any YouTube videos of people visiting Germany or something, they all say, yeah, well, people understand English here. You can go into a shop and communicate in English. You can talk to people on the street and ask them something in English, and they will understand you. They might not have the perfect understanding, but they will know enough English to understand you, and they will also know enough English to answer you. Maybe not in the best grammar, but they will get by. And we do have a pretty good education system when it comes to the English language. English language is basically nowadays in most schools taught from the very first semester, term, and class. I don't know the correct translation. I think there's also different translation to UK and America. Anyways, I think you know what I mean. Basically, right from the very get-go, when kids go to school, they are taught English. So, yeah, it is something that most people have a somewhat of an understanding of the English language, but what I encounter a lot of times, and I especially encounter this with tutorials, for example. I mean, in regards to modding, I often do get messages of people asking me, how do I this, how do I that? And, well, I link them to a tutorial, and the tutorial is English, and then they answer me, oh, well, don't you have anything in German? I don't want to watch the English tutorial. It's so hard to understand. And that is kind of a general attitude towards English, simply because we do have excellent German dubbed movies and series, and so that in the daily life, for most Germans, I mean, I'm speaking of younger Germans now, it's not really necessary to do too much English. It's something you do in school, probably something you hate in school, because, well, everything in school is something you hate in school. That's just what the school system is teaching you, that school sucks and learning sucks. And that's another topic I'm not going to get into now, but yeah, that's kind of where this goes. So yeah, despite the ability to understand English at least enough to get by, a lot of people my age or younger just simply choose not to, because they don't want to, because they don't want to have the added workload for the mind, basically, to try and translate. Yeah, and I think it's really sad, because it really kind of narrows the horizon of what is out there. And I don't know, I've been basically getting into English speaking YouTube years ago, because there was nothing of interest in the German speaking YouTube. I mean, that was in the days where farm vlogging wasn't really a thing, where Let's Plays were brand new, basically. And I mean, this is all something basically something that wasn't invented in Germany. I have no idea where Let's Plays were invented, but the thing is that Let's Plays were already commonplace in the English speaking YouTube world when they were kind of getting adopted in Germany. And farm vlogs, for example, I mean, One Lonely Farmer is, I think, probably the pioneer of farm vlogs, or at least the first one who got kind of bigger recognition and following. And it took years for, I think the first farm vlog in Germany was, I think, 2016, 2015, 2016, with a farm vlogger, or the first farm vlog that actually, like, not a one-off video or some channel trying something, but some guy just regularly making farm vlogs one after the other and actually gaining some attention with that. So I think One Lonely Farmer started in 2008 or something. That is kind of the time frame we're working with here. So yeah, that is basically the reason why I turned to English YouTube, because I was bored what I could watch in German. And yeah, I mean, I branched out to watching like mechanics YouTube, people fixing cars, people fixing tractors, and actually most of my knowledge about how those things work, how cars work, how engines work, how basically how electronics worked. I was watching a lot of electronics YouTube for a while. How machining works, all of that stuff I all know in English. I know the English terms for everything. I don't know the German terms, because I was watching English YouTube for that. And by now we do have basically everything in Germany as well, so I don't think there's any like category or subject on YouTube that is not covered by German YouTubers, simply because YouTube has become so part of everybody's life. I mean, nowadays you can walk with a camera in your hand through a street, public busy street, and nobody will look at you, because they all just think, oh yeah, he's doing something for social media, Instagram or YouTube. It's just become so ingrained in our daily life. But I mean, 10 years ago, that wasn't the case. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with this, but long story short, that is why I got into basically um, dealing with the headache of trying to understand a language you only understand little of, and doing that and keeping doing that, I got better. So these days I don't have any issues understanding anything, and it doesn't really make a difference for me watching a video in English or watching a video in German. What I have to say is that in German I can generally watch videos in 1.5 or 2 times speed and still understand everything. I can also do that in English, but I do miss a few things then. I noticed that when I watch something back, sometimes I watch a series or something and I watched it on faster speed, and maybe a year later or something I go back and watch it and I watch it in slower speed and I realize, oh, I completely missed that joke, or I completely missed that. And yeah, so I do miss stuff if I watch it too fast. So yeah, there's still somewhat of a difference for me, but in general I can watch videos in both languages, and since the pool of videos is way bigger in English, I generally try to look up stuff in English. So if I look for a tutorial on something or want to learn about something, generally I just try to look up the things in English, because there are just so many more results. The chances of finding a good video are better. And yeah, I think it is sad that so many people are, especially in Germany, kind of robbing themselves of those opportunities because they're too lazy to kind of deal with a language they already partly understand, or understand good enough to go into a video. And yeah, it's a sort of difficult topic, because languages and the generalization of language, and basically the saying that, well, you only have to learn English and you can get by anywhere in the world, and that kind of narrative, or that kind of thing that everybody anywhere should understand English, isn't necessarily something I do support. But I know that here in Europe most countries are pretty good at that, and I think, for example, in the Netherlands, people speak excellent English, and part of the reason for that is because they don't have such a great dubbing industry, so they naturally have to watch videos with subtitles, and thus kind of getting exposed to the language a little more. And I think for much of Europe that is actually true. I don't know, I can't say. Maybe you can in the comments. But despite everything what I just said, the main point I wanted to make, like 10 minutes ago before I started on this, it wasn't a rant, but on this topic, I do know that most of the people watching this video are my regular German viewers. At least those that think they can be bothered to watch in a different language, and I'm actually very happy about that. But also, I always wish and hope for a few international viewers, and I hope that I can attract some of the international viewers with those videos, simply because the idea of having a different audience is really appealing. Having other people in the comments, having other topics to talk about, and that said, I really love comments. I love reading comments, and I read obviously every one of them. Right now there aren't too many. I think I have to get into another topic then, right now, for the end. Basically, why did I stop this series? So, I don't know when it was, like a year ago when I stopped the series. This one was the first to go, basically. When I hit a time where a lot of things came together, like private issues and general demotivation of modding and farm sim. Also the idea that sitting on a computer for so many hours every day was kind of not appealing anymore, was kind of I didn't feel good about it anymore. I mean, for a long time actually modding and doing YouTube and stuff like that was really fulfilling for me. It was something it made me very happy, and basically if I sat on my computer and did a video and did some modding, and after many hours late at night I went to bed happy because I did something and it felt good, and that just stopped. So I kind of spent a few hours on the computer and doing something farm sim related, and in the end it felt like I've wasted my time. And yeah, so many things came together, again, private issues and stuff like that. So it wasn't just like getting a bit tired of farm sim, it was many other things. But basically I really scaled back my YouTube YouTube thing to a point where it almost wasn't existent anymore. For a while I didn't really play farm sim at all. I didn't record any videos at all. I very rarely made like a video where I did a modern DLC spotlight, and not really doing any series. And yeah, so that is something that has been going on in my life over the past year, and it's not over. I'm going to say that. Although, in all honesty, I'm kind of back. I'm enjoying farm sim a lot more, but also I'm playing a lot, so I'm kind of scared of being burned out really quickly again. I kind of jumped in basically head first. It wasn't planned. I did a safe game, a multiplayer safe game together with Irsin Reiner, and that was basically just a little bit of fun in multiplayer. And I started my Rebach story series again, and I wanted to kind of take it slow, but then Terra Life Beta started, and Alien Paul said, "Hey, you wanna play along on Avil?" And a week later, "Hey, you wanna play along on Pelinier?" Still have no idea how to pronounce that. So yeah, I kinda got roped into that, and it wasn't really planned, so I don't know how long I will basically keep the motivation going. So I'm going to be honest with you, this video is a test. I don't know if there will be any more of them. Kind of also depends on what you guys say in the comments, or girls, who knows. I really hope that somebody writes something in the comments. If I'm being honest, my channel isn't doing as well lately, view wise, and it's not an issue for me, because well, there's also a reason why I kind of stopped, because for a while I was really chasing the numbers on YouTube, and it kind of killed the fun for me. So right now I don't even look at the view counts or all the statistics in YouTube. I haven't opened the statistics window in weeks, because I'm just here for the videos. I don't really care much about anything else right now, and it's really freeing and a lot of fun. But I do notice that the view count on my videos channel is a lot lower than it has been. So I imagine that the English video really won't get much views, because back in the day the English videos also had a much lower view count than my other videos, and now that my other videos also have a much lower view count, I think the English video will be really low. So I really hope for at least 1 or 2 comments on this video. That would be really nice of you. Yeah, so we'll see if I keep this series going. Again, usually I'd be more story focused. Also, it is still an option that I'd keep this English series going, but on a different map, a different save game. That might be an idea. But maybe we keep playing on this here. It's not a bad map. Kind of the options were limited when I started this, and I wanted to do something where I can use the Platinum DLC, kind of like the Silver Run save game. So I could really go to Germany, because where we don't have much Volvo and BM Bolinde Muntel tractors here. There wasn't really a Swedish map, which would be the most fitting one. So this is kind of the next best thing. What I don't like about it is this is basically everything I do. Why are there weird noises? Like goose noises? What's going on? That's odd. I don't know. Maybe some sounds in this map. What I was trying to say is, one thing I dislike about this map is that you don't get out. Basically, you have your farm here, fields around it. There's no reason to travel across the map. there's also not much to travel to or about because there are very few roads and very few things to see. And that is kind of realistic for this area, but having grown up in Germany and generally playing a German farm style on my maps, most farms in Germany don't work this way. Most farms in Germany are basically in a village or next to a village. Most farms don't have any fields right next to their farm. Most fields are quite a miles away from the farm. So basically you have your farm, you have fields all dotted all over the map. You drive to those different fields every time you need to work on them, and that is kind of the playstyle I do actually miss when I play on German maps, because in many countries that is not very much the case. I do know that it's not true to say that. I do know that even in America, where classically people had like one big square lot with a farm in the middle and the fields around it, that's not the case anymore because so many farms basically gave up. So other bigger farms leasing the land of those smaller farms. So the big farms also have their land dotted all around. So it is kind of similar these days, but still not the same because you still have very big fields or an entire farmstead rented. Well, here in Germany, basically most of the time, you just have one field here, one field there, another field there, and even though in Germany, like, the same thing is happening, farms are giving up, other farms are buying or leasing that field, and that only means that things are getting way more split. I mean, there are farms that have fields like 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers away, and I don't know, maybe in the US that's not a lot, or not far. In Germany that's actually quite a distance. So that is kind of something I do miss on this map, and I do miss on my playstyle then. And I fear that I might get bored just driving around here on this farmstead. That said, the farmstead is nice. I mean, the forest is really nice on this map. Foliages are really nice, and yeah, actually, it's nice to be here. It's really, apart from my horrible fashion choices I've made, it's really idyllic and nice to look at, and I do enjoy it. So who knows? Maybe we'll keep on playing on this map. I don't know. That's just it. I don't know. But maybe you in the comments can tell me what to do, and maybe we'll do that, or maybe not. Again, I'm not really fully back into the YouTube game, and I don't intend to doing that anyway. So I don't want to come back into daily videos and chase numbers and stuff like that. That's really that's no fun. So yeah, don't expect the next installment of the series the next day, basically. But yeah, so I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really would love to read a comment from you. Channel, I'm not trying to beg for comments or likes, but in this case, I think I did it in the earlier episodes of the series as well, just because the series was starting out, and since we kind of had a long pause, kind of back to that point again. So if you want to see more of that, just tell me in the comments, or don't. I don't care. But you're probably not going to see more of that then. Honestly, it really, I mean, it kind of sounds like taking my audience hostage, but it really comes down to audience reactions if I want to keep doing this or not. That's basically it, because I don't think I'd have the motivation to keep the thing going if I was alone. Here, I do need you. Oh yeah, so I guess I've talked way longer than I wanted to. I thought I'd do a quick 20-minute videos. We are at 44 minutes now. Yeah. No, I'm not sorry about that. I think it's an okay video. I think we touched on a lot of topics, talked a bit. I got back into the English groove a bit. I also noticed that I do actually lack quite a few words, and I was searching for words a lot more than I initially thought. I also realized that my pronunciation is pretty bad right now. but I don't know how bad it will be over the microphone. I hope that you understand most things I said. I do know that I kind of I'm not pronouncing things as pronounced. I don't know how to how to really otherwise say that. But I am kind of like letting words and syllables mush together and creep into each other. So yeah, I think it's maybe a little bit hard to understand sometimes. I hope that's not the case too much, but we'll see. There is no do-over. This is the episode. That's what you're getting. And with that, I would say I hope you all have a lovely day. Thank you very much for being here and watching this video. And until next time, goodbye.